Have you ever noticed that the best remote jobs are usually the ones nobody's talking about? Most people only focus on the flashy side hustles, the ones that sound cool to mention at parties. But here's the thing, the cool factor usually comes with brutal competition and unstable pay. The truth is, the remote jobs that actually pay well and stick around long-term are often the ones people overlook, the ones that sound a little too ordinary. But don't be deceived by this. These so-called boring jobs can quietly pay $60,000 to $80,000 a year, while giving you the freedom to work from anywhere. That's why today, I'm breaking down 3 of the most underrated, high-paying remote jobs in 2025. And to make things interesting, I'm going to score each one across 5 categories: income power, beginner-friendly, growth potential, AI survivability, and freedom factor. By the end, we'll see which job really deserves the crown and which one might be the smartest move for you. So, without wasting much time, let's get into it. Job number 1, medical claims cleaner. Let's start with a role that sounds way scarier than it actually is. Now, don't worry, this doesn't require medical knowledge. You're not diagnosing anyone, and you're not talking to patients. All you're really doing is fixing typos. And here's why that matters. Around 20% of insurance claims get rejected the first time because of tiny mistakes, like a birth year being off by 1 digit or a name spelled differently in 2 systems. So your job is to spot the mismatch, fix it, and resubmit. The doctor gets paid, and so do you. It's like being a digital detective, but instead of catching criminals, you're catching spelling errors. All right, let's score it. Income power. You're looking at around $18 to $30 per hour. That's $37,000 to $62,000 per year, plus bonuses in some roles. So not millionaire money, but very solid for an entry-level remote job. I'm giving this one an 8 out of 10. Beginner friendly. Honestly, this is probably the easiest role on today's list. If you can pay attention to detail and use a computer, you can do this, so that's a straight 10 out of 10. Growth potential. You're not going to climb a huge career ladder here. It's steady but not skyrocketing. Still, you can move into higher billing roles if you get experience. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. AI survivability. The healthcare system in the US isn't going away anytime soon, and mistakes in paperwork aren't something AI has nailed yet, so I'm ranking this a 9 out of 10. Freedom factor. Most jobs in this field are task-based, so you can do them flexibly as long as the work gets done. So I'll score this a 9 out of 10. So overall, this is a perfect entry-level remote job. And if you're wondering where to actually start, you can check out companies like Sarnova and Clinic Minds. But stick around, because the second job blows it out of the water when it comes to freelance earning potential. Job number 2, business data cleanup specialist. Now, this next one might sound a little nerdy, but it's actually one of the most lucrative, boring jobs you can do remotely. Here's the deal. Every company runs on software, CRMS, accounting systems, inventory databases. And over time, those systems turn into an absolute mess. Duplicates everywhere, customer names spelled differently, products listed 15 different ways. Businesses hate this problem, and they'll pay really well for someone who can clean it up. Let me give you an example. A construction company has one client, Johnson Construction LLC, but in their system, that same client shows up as Johnson Construction LLC J Construction. The software thinks these are 2 different companies. That creates chaos when billing, reporting, or tracking sales. Your job? Spot the duplicates, merge them, and bring order to the madness. So, with that in mind, let's score it. Income power. This is where things get exciting. Salaries usually fall between $45,000 to $70,000. But if you go freelance, you can charge $40 to $60 an hour. That's easily $80,000 plus a year once you've got some experience. For that reason, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Beginner friendly. You'll need decent spreadsheet skills. Think pivot tables, filters, and cleaning functions, plus some logical thinking. not impossible, but there is a learning curve. I'd rank it a 6 out of 10 here. Growth potential. If you specialize in big-name platforms like Salesforce or NetSuite, you can double your rates because so few people know how to clean data properly in those systems. That's a 10 out of 10. AI survivability. Businesses will always need accurate data. AI tools help, sure, but they still make mistakes and can't fully replace human judgment, so I'd give this a 9 out of 10. Freedom factor. Most of this work is project-based. You get the mess, you clean it, you send it back. You can do it anytime, anywhere. That's a solid 10 out of 10. Compared to the first job, this one absolutely crushes it in terms of earning potential and long-term growth. If you enjoy organizing chaos, this could easily become your 6-figure remote career. And if you're thinking of where to start, you can check out Insight Global and Upwork. But the last job? That one combines steady income with meaningful impact. And it's exploding in demand right now. Job number 3, accessibility QA tester. All right, this last one is my favorite because it's not only stable and well-paying, it actually makes a real difference. Here's why it's so important. Big companies like Target, Netflix, even Domino's have been hit with lawsuits because their websites and apps don't work for people with disabilities. Think about it. According to the CDC, nearly 30% of US adults have some form of disability. That's a massive group of customers businesses can't afford to ignore, which means demand for accessibility testers is skyrocketing. And the best part? You don't need to be a coder. Your role is to test websites and apps the way a user with disabilities would. For example, you might check if images have alt text for screen readers, make sure you can navigate a site using only a keyboard, verify captions on videos are accurate, flag where the site breaks ADA or WCAG rules. Here's how I'd rank it. Income power, salaries run around $50,000 to $75,000. With government contracts and specialized consulting pushing even higher, I'd put this at a strong 8 out of 10. Beginner friendly, you'll need to learn WCAG guidelines and some assistive tech basics. It's not instant, but the community is very beginner friendly. I'll score it a 7 out of 10. Growth potential. This is huge. Accessibility is only going to get more important as regulations tighten. Specialize here and you'll future-proof your career. That's a 10 out of 10. AI survivability. Companies legally have to fix these issues. So this field is about as recession-proof as it gets. That's another 10 out of 10. Freedom factor. Most roles are remote and highly independent. You get your testing tasks, run them, and report back. That's a 9 out of 10. You can check out Datavio if you're interested in this job, but unlike the first and second jobs, this one might take more upfront learning, but it pays off with stability, impact, and long-term career security. If you want meaningful work that still pays well, this is the clear winner. So there you have it, 3 boring remote jobs people rarely talk about. The first is easy to start, the second pays more, and the third is built to last. At the end of the day, it's about choosing the path that fits your goals. Drop a comment and let me know which one you'd go for. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe so more people can discover opportunities like these. See you in the next one.